Hello, I'm Mark Slee. I'm a clinical academic neurologist from Flinders University and Flinders Medical Centre in Adelaide. Professor Thomas Kalinchik invited me to come to the Melbourne Brain Centre Scientific Day to talk a little bit about some interests I have in multiple sclerosis. Today I talked about how there's a great unmet need for instruments to help us measure disease activity and disease progression in multiple sclerosis with greater detail and with finer granularity. One of the reasons is that there's some recent evidence to suggest that even in early multiple sclerosis, in early relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis, there may be a measurable signal of disability progression that we've been missing using our traditional tools. And so I presented data around this concept, recently developed concepts of progression that's independent of relapse activity in early multiple sclerosis. There's data to suggest that even when people are on strong therapies, there is a small but a measurable signal that there can be for some people with multiple sclerosis, some background disability progression even though they're in the early phases of multiple sclerosis. One of the good pieces of news coming out of this is that it appears that highly active immunotherapy is able to alter that signal substantially, and I talked about some of the biomarker data to suggest that we can really quite successfully alter that progression signal, but that progression signal early in the disease is still there. I guess one of the take-home messages from all of this is that there's a groundswell of interest in the MS neurology and clinical trials and science community to bring people with MS on board to help us design instruments to measure their experience with more accuracy. And so some of these things are called patient-reported outcomes. Things like wearables, device technology, biodata, MRI data, clinical data, all put together with people with multiple sclerosis in the forefront, helping advise us as to what tools can we use to help measure their experience most accurately. Because it appears that whilst the time-tested tools that we've been using in clinic and clinical trials, whilst they've been very helpful, have only been very partially helpful at picking up aspects of disease activity. So I think it's a very exciting time in which we're seeing a transition to bringing people with multiple sclerosis on board in terms of design of research and helping advise the research community about design of instruments to measure outcomes with greater accuracy.